Indigenous Peoples Month is an opportunity to dig deeper into the truth of our colonial past. It's an opportunity to celebrate our movements over time. It's an acknowledgement that we are still here and we survived assimilation attempts through the Indian Act. I think my favorite parts of this month are highlighting some of the great educators we have in our board and in this province and the work that they're doing.
I think it also celebrates our vibrancy of our cultures because we are not all the same. There's lots of differences and beautiful differences. And I think it's also a time to celebrate our resiliency. It is so important for our youth to see Indigenous people celebrated. The SHSM program is a specialist high skills major program throughout the province. So what we did was we were looking at if any of our Indigenous students were participating, and they weren't. And we made one that's Indigenous based within the environment. And that was done through Erica Kelly, myself, and the Chippewas of Georgina Island First Nation, looking at what types of jobs our community will have in the future and what they wanted our students to have. So based on that, we looked at the SHSM program that's offered, and we changed some pieces to meet the needs of our First Nation and other Indigenous students. So we're seeing some great things. We just had our first graduates last year from the program. A really big component of it is that if you take Ojibwe, you're receiving all the certifications and things that you need to walk out with your SHSM in grade 12. So we're seeing students come out now with additional certifications. They have their WMIS, they're going through co-op credits, they're working within the community, and they're building their resume of skills for either the workplace or post-secondary.
I think we really put York Region on the map in terms of Indigenous education, and the board was able to forge these really rich relationships with educators and knowledge keepers and elders and just people doing really great work in the province. The idea for Quest really came from Drew McNaughton and I pitching to Director Chair an idea because we had had so much movement in Indigenous education, and we thought that it would be a good opportunity to highlight some of the wonderful work that's happening within our board, but also use it as an opportunity to forge connections with other community partners and bring them into a space where we can kind of build this network to grow the learning that's been happening in the board. The whole conference was kind of like coming home and seeing a collection of work that as a lead I had led, but also the voices that I had given platforms for to share the work. And it was an opportunity to bring my family into one space to show people in our board, this is who we are, this is how we work, this is how we center our relationships in everything we do, and how we share platforms to really leverage each other's voices. And I think for me, that's who I've always been as a leader. And Quest kind of gave me the opportunity to demonstrate that and model it for others. If I could give a message to our Indigenous students in the board, I would say reach out and connect with people who think like you. And we're not hard to find. We're pretty public about our identity now and how we lead. Working with us, we can help you find the confidence and reclaim your culture and just understand who you are and try to connect you.
I've been able to see so many students grow, not just from our community, but within our broader community in Georgina. And if I had a message for you, it would be to be so proud of who you are and where you come from. And reach out. You have so many supports in education that can help you with your journey, and that to remember that you have like thousands of ancestors who have walked this path before you and are standing side by side with you. Be proud of your culture and your language and your journey for reclaiming those when you're ready, and don't be afraid to lead with your identity.